Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to talk about there are according to this Game Rant article, 6 unresolved mysteries and plot holes that the Mutant Mayhem Nintendo's film has left unresolved. I've watched the film, and even though you guys can check out my reviews, as say reviews, because I get like what 3, maybe 4 reviews up on the channel about it. Um, but overall, as a Ninja Turtle fan, I don't think this movie is exactly anything to get excited about. In my opinion, like, sure there are like nice like homage like callbacks like the Ninja Rap and a pun to Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. Sure, those were cool to see in the films, but like I also have those 3 things, and like I think that Paul Rudd as Mondo Gecko was one of the best casting choices ever. I don't think Mutant Mayhem was anything to brag about, really, in my humble opinion. But anyways, let's dive into the 6 unresolved plot holes and mysteries Mutant Mayhem has. So, one is Baxter Stockman still alive. First off, like, in my first review, I did say I think he's dead, but then, like, I think it, and like, what I liked about the film, or like, was I too harsh about the film? I did say that I think Baxter Stockman's dead, but I'm not exactly sure. Because, like, he could have easily been, like, knocked out by the TCRI people. I hope if he's still alive, he'll be, used more in the sequel. Guess I think he was, like, utilized, especially the actor, was underutilized too, as Baxter Stockman. And I actually did like the little bit of Baxter Stockman that we got in the movie, but I just wish we had more of him. If that makes sense. Anyways, let's see. The origins of the Turtles are a bit different compared to the other TMNT media out there. The movie begins with Baxter Stockman lovingly attending to Superfly, his siblings, and his ooze Frumla. The TCRI organization busts through the door to steal his Frumla, but in the kerfuffle, the house explodes. The aftermath is never shown, meaning that Baxter could still be alive. In a general consensus of movie fans now that if a character dies off screen, there's a chance they are alive. Baxter is a prominent character in the lore of this universe, so it wouldn't really make sense to kill him off. Anyway, it would make more sense to bring him back as a brainwashed villain to fight his children courtesy of TCRI. And I think with like nowadays when like off-screen deaths, like many people understandably don't like really say that off-screen deaths actually means that they're dead, because like nowadays we live in a world where entertainment loves bringing people back from the dead, whether it's off-screen or on-screen deaths. Arrow is a good example of that. Like, Arrow loves to bring people back from the dead. Whether Sarah Lance, in some way or fashion. Sarah Lance was they literally resurrected. Laurel Lance was they killed off, then brought another person for. And Oliver Queen, they kind of did that. Tommy Merlin, they did that a few times. Quentin Lance, and a few other people, right? So I wouldn't be too surprised if Baxter Stockman is either dead and gets resuscitated, or his off-screen death wasn't an actual death. It was just meant to seem that way. Anyways, moving on to number 5 being the Shredder. The ultimate teaser in the mid-credit scene was Cynthia Ultron under the line, "Bring me the Shredder." This scene cuts to Shredder from behind, looking onto New York City. It was inevitable the Shredder was going to show up eventually, as he is the primary antagonist to most TMNT media. This isn't true in the comics, as he is dealt with pretty quickly, which is a whole other avenue to run down. Since Teenage Mutant Ninja Mutant Mayhem played with fans' expectations, who the Shredder will be in the sequel could be someone familiar. It could be someone fans saw in the movie, or it could be someone mentioned off screen. More importantly, if Shredder is coming into the sequel, then he is inviting his Ninja Folk clan as well. The more ninjas, the better. I think if anyone's going to be the Shredder, it should be a Rokusaki. I'm sorry. But, like, whenever, like, I think of the Shredder, I think of a Rokusaki. Now, I'm not saying, like, having the Shredder in the sequel will be the worst thing, because it's clearly going to be in there. I'm hoping, in the sequel, they will, the sequel will feel more like a Ninja Turtles film. Having the Turtles feel like more of the Turtles are like the characters that we kind of came to know, and like, how can I say this without trying to sound like overly critical? Honoring the legacy a bit more of the Turtles in the sequel than they did in this film, if that makes sense. Anyways, TCRI Skull. What does TCR want with Baxter Stockman and his ooze? While the organization is present in the movie, their desire are left as a mystery. The main plot focuses on Superfly's plans to kill every human and rule the world with other mutant animals. Is that what TCRI wants as well, or is there something more to their plans? Maybe they are being contracted by a shady government to create hybrid humanoids for war. Maybe the idea is too small for them, and they instead want to look beyond Earth. Do they know about Dimension X from the TMNT lore? Is that why they want an army of mutants? This could take the sequel into a multi-dimensional adventure similar to Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Now, I think if they have Cynthia Utrom in there, I think them knowing about Dimension X is a given. Because Utroms are like little brain-looking aliens that has like android bodies, mostly looking like normal humans, right? But the actual alien part, actually, like, you can see them in the stomach area, right? And I think if Cynthia Ultron is an actual Ultron alien that I think that she is, I wouldn't be doubtful. It wouldn't be doubtful, I should say, that they're familiar with Dimension X, if Dimension X is a thing in this universe. So, anyways, because I don't even think Dimension X was a thing in the '03 Turtles. Was it? I don't remember. It's been a hot minute since I watched the '03 Turtles. Anyways, did anyone get mutated in the Kaiji battle? One of the coolest things that Mutant Mayhem was the Kaiji finale. It was unexpected, epic, and filled with a lot of emotion. A TMNT movie has never done this before, and while a mech battle would have been cooler, the scene was still exciting. While the Turtles were able to defeat this monstrosity, that doesn't mean Superfly's actions are going away. In his destructive wake, Superfly spewed out toxic goo from his mouth. If a human or animal got hit with that, then they could have mutated. That's another avenue to sequel could get into. It would truly be a shock if no one got mutated from the event. I can kind of see where they're going with this, and I'd say that would be like that'd be an interesting concept for them to like explore in the sequel. I'll admit. I'm not that excited about the sequel at the moment, but still. Like with this film, I'm going to be cautiously optimistic. Okay. I'm not going to be optimistic quite yet, but I'm going to be cautious about the sequel. Because we have like really nothing to go off of the sequel. We have nothing to go off of on the sequel other than the Shredder's going to be in it. And obviously the Turtles, Splinter, and most likely April O'Neil. Anyways. Well, Casey Jones joined the fight. Mutant Mayhem did something that no other TMNT movie has done before. Include a plethora of weird antagonist villains. From Wingnut to Leatherhead, there's a good amount of villains in the movie. The Turtles are alone in their fight against the villains until they decide to shift sides and stop Superfly from the Turtles. Will some of those villains fight in the sequel, or are they going to have more peaceful roads? If this writer is in the sequel, I think Bebop and Rocksteady, like, logically it would make more sense if Bebop or Rocksteady made another appearance and fought alongside with Shredder and don't change sides this time. While the other mutants that we saw in the film, outside of the Turtles, of course, I can see them taking a more peaceful role, right? Maybe like Leatherhead might come back, but that's the only mutant that I will like welcome a return. But who knows? Also, if the mutants are out, then the Turtles need some other allies who can fight too. Casey Jones would be the obvious pick, and the Turtles could meet him in school. And secondary pick would be Miyato Usagi, a rabbit who is also a samurai. He has never been in a theatrical movie before, and now seems like the time. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge has upcoming DLC featuring Usagi. After all, the concept of seeing Usagi on the big screen is cool, but I'd rather Usagi not be in the Mutant Mayhem universe. And so I would have to say, if we're going to get a new ally for the Turtles, I'd rather it be in Casey Jones than Usagi. But that's just me. I will not judge you guys if you want Usagi to be in the sequel. And second, will the Turtles be okay in school? All the Turtles want in the movie to be accepted, more so than anything else. They want to specifically live their lives as teenagers, which is why they try to dress like them, eat like them, and even watch their content. From TikTok videos to teenage films like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, the goal is obvious. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem ends with the four of them getting their wish, and it seems like the ideal setup. I'd say the Turtles going to high school at the end. As a Ninja Turtle fan, that wasn't my favorite part of the Turtles, because that feels like it went against what the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are all about. Which, yeah, they're teenagers, so I think like wanting to be accepted by society, it will always be part of them, sure. But the ninja part, it goes against the ninja part, which is stay in the shadows. Like at most, they probably will stay like a day or two in the spotlight, sure. Publicly at most, if even, but then they will go back to being in the shadows. The Turtles going to school does not scream Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles out to me. I'm sorry. That's the one thing that like really annoys the shit out of me about this film, is that they actually go to school. I can like accept, like, some humans accepting the turtles and Splinter's sure, but I don't think they will. I don't think everybody on the, like, in New York will universally accept them. At least, I should say this: I don't think that humans will accept the turtles for that long. Not long enough or well enough to go to high school. Which is why I think, like, a day or two maybe at most, but after that, go back to the shadows like ninjas. Anyways, they're all accepted into school system and have their first prom. Is everything going to be okay in the sequel? Will the humans' teens eventually start to pick on the turtles are being different? It seems like a decent plot because, after all, as my classic comical romance song declares, teenagers scared the living shit out of me. Again, I don't think the turtles going to high school is like a very Ninja Turtle thing to do. So I do hope that, like, something happens where they, in the sequel, where they're forced, okay, we need to go back into our, like, ninja part of our ways and live in the shadows. Be better for us. Like, sure, we get to, like, still talk to April and maybe, like, Casey be into it, but outside of April and Casey, which, assuming Casey's in the film and he proves to be trustworthy in the movie, Casey and April are, like, the only humans that has proven, like, that they can see past beyond us being different, and they prove to us that they are trustworthy and they got us back. The other humans haven't really. Like, sure, they maybe in the crisis they would band together with us, and that's, like, about the only time it's in crisis. But outside of that, no, they're not to be trusted. And that's even me kind of somewhat giving them a benefit of doubt in this version of the Turtles, but yeah, I hope they create a scenario where the Turtles are forced to go back in the shadows, because them going to high school, I'm sorry, it's one of the dumbest things for the Ninja Turtles to do, in my humble opinion. Anyways, and I'm most likely not the only Ninja Turtle fan who feels that way. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you guys agree with any of this? Let me know, and if you guys disagree with any part of this, whether it's let me go back. Whether is Baxter Stockman still alive? The Shredder, TCRI's goals. Did anyone get mutated in the kaiju battle? Will Casey join the fight? Or Miss Usagi? And will the Turtles be okay in school? Do you guys agree with that or disagree with that? Or, like, what's your guys, like, theories about those topics that we talked about? As always, I'll have this article in the description down below. So if you guys want to read this for yourselves, you guys can. With that said, love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. I will talk to you fellow mutants later.